Hi everyone, Rene Bastarache here with the American School of Hypnosis. And today I'd like to speak to you about, should you do hypnosis sessions in someone else's home? Okay, now that's a question I get asked quite often, so I'm going to give you some, I guess you could say, situation or examples of people that I know that have done it, and kind of leave the decision up to you. So going into someone's home, from what I've seen, in my humble opinion, okay, has never turned out good. The things you need to think about are safety issues, there's privacy issues, and relaxation issues. And I'm going to get into those in a moment. But let me tell you a story of one of my students, one of my graduates, who'd been doing hypnosis probably for about 6 months or so. And she had a customer who always wanted her. He kept on bugging her to go to his house, to go to his house. He was so busy. He was a businessman. He really couldn't go anywhere. So he wanted her to go to his house to hypnotize him for smoking. Now, let's face it, we all want business. Some of us get nervous about it, so we'll do just about anything to get the almighty buck. But you got to be careful. This woman was a single mother of 4 children, and she was kind of naive. Wonderful person, great hypnotist, but kind of naive. So she went to the guy's house, expecting to do a hypnosis session for smoking cessation. So she knocked on his door. He opened the door. He was all dressed up with a suit and tie, so she figured he might have just gotten home from work. As she walked in the apartment, he had a candlelight dinner all set up for her on the table. Music playing, the room was dimmed. So she was wondering what was going on. And he invited her in. She came in. He had no intention of doing a hypnosis session. He just wanted to have her over for dinner. And I probably forgot to mention, this single mom of 4 children was very pretty. Okay, so it was his ploy to get her over the house. Now, the thing is, when she found out she wasn't doing a session, she wasn't interested in the guy, so she decided to, politely turn him down and leave. Problem she had, he was standing at the door and wouldn't open the door, so she had to get a little rough with him to get out. And as you know, a mother of 4 kids knows how to be rough, okay? So she had to be rough with him to get out, and think of it, she was probably lucky to get out of that guy's house. So it can be dangerous, and these are the things I want you to understand. I mean, it might not always work that way, but like I said, I haven't seen a situation that worked out well yet. I had another student who worked in a religious community. This is a community that was mostly his religion. Everybody kind of knew each other. And there was an older heavyset woman. She was bedridden. She wanted him to come over and to do sessions with her for stress type issues she was having. Anyway, he called me in advance to see if he should go, and I said, definitely not. Again, I always say, it never seems to turn out how you expect it. I never seen it turn out good yet. So he decided to go anyways, because this woman was wealthy. She told him, I know a lot of people in the community. If you come over and do well with me, I can help you to do a lot of business in this community, and kind of insinuating, if you don't, you won't. What would you do? So he went. Again, once he got there, he did do the session, but she was a little bit more interested in having companionship of, single, younger men in her home. Okay, so he realized it wasn't really for the session, it was for companionship. Of course, he was able to get out of there because she was bedridden. But these are the things to keep in mind. So not only for a woman can it be dangerous, but for a man, it could be unadvisable as well. Now, what would have happened if maybe she made an advance at him while he was in her home and he turned her down? Now she can tell everyone she knows in the community, being so well off and so respected, that he came into my home and he did this and he took advantage of me. So it can also ruin you rather than help you in business that you thought. So you got to be careful of those kind of things. What are other problems with going into somebody else's home to do sessions? Well, when you're going into their home, there's kind of I guess you could say, a lack of professionalism. You lost the awe expectancy, first of all. When you come into my office, it's a professional office. You don't know what to expect. You're not at home. It's a completely different environment. Being the first time, you're a little bit more respectful, and you act in a more professional manner. But if I went into your house, I mean, you might have the laundry hanging out. It's your home. You're comfortable there, so that awe expectancy, that professionalism isn't there anymore. Other things to think about, since it's so familiar for you, I might ask you to sit down. You might say, no, I don't want to sit there. This is my favorite chair. So you're giving me a hard time already. Also, the person might have company walk in right in the middle, or they might have told their neighbor that a hypnotist is coming over, and right in the middle of your session is a knock at the door, or the phone rings, or they forgot to do this or that, or there's a dog in the house and he comes running through. You didn't know that they had a son. The son comes walking in. What are you doing to my mother? Okay, so there's a lot of things that can happen unexpectedly in someone else's home that wouldn't happen in your office because you know all the different nuances of your office. There's also a difficulty, it can be a difficulty in them relaxing. Okay, they might be worrying that while their eyes are closed, you're casing out the joint. You're looking around to see, oh, she's got something nice over there. Oh, I can come back and steal this, Or maybe they left their dirty laundry out and they got their eyes closed and they realize, I left my laundry out. So they're kind of peeking, to see if you're looking at their laundry. So there's a lot of things like that. It's uncomfortable because they don't know if you're looking at their private or personal things. Now, to bring this into more of a personal situation, okay, I'd like to give you one of my experiences. Now, I haven't done hypnosis sessions in other people's homes, but as a hypnosis instructor, way back when I was brand new, I got to tell you, I was new. I'd probably been doing hypnosis maybe for a couple months. And I had two people in this one town call me and ask me if I can come to their home, it was husband and wife, to train them to become a hypnotherapist. Now I'm thinking, wow, I can go to somebody's house. It's a ways away from here, but stay in a hotel. That's a write-off, business write-off. I can go all the way over there and make close to $3,000 just for spending a few days in someone's house. Yeah, I'll do that. Not even thinking twice about it. So kind of turned out to be a little nightmare. I went over there. I mean, I was able to train them, but the interruptions, I'd be training them and thinking I'm doing really well, and all of a sudden, oh, we got to go change the baby. Of course, they're in their home. They're not going to have a babysitter. If they were over in your office, they don't bring the children, okay? So they had to go change the baby. They had two big dogs, so they had to feed the dogs. Then they had to let the dog out. Then here I am, trying to write something. I brought my little whiteboard with me, write something on the board, and the dog's coming up and kind of nudging my hand and pushing me over. So you can see there was a lot of different distractions. And a couple times a doorbell rang. It was a neighbor wanting one thing or another, or a salesman or something, because they were right on a main street. So there were so many distractions. By the end of it, I wish I hadn't done it. It didn't have the normal professionalism that I have when someone comes to my office. And I really felt the difference. So, to answer your question, should you do a session in someone else's home? Again, it's your decision, but in my humble opinion, I say definitely not. So I wish you the very best of success in your sessions. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to see our future videos. Bye-bye.